I have decided something, and if I tell somewhere like YouTube that people can actually see it, then maybe that gives a bit more accountability and support. So here's what I've decided. I think that I want to be a writer. That's actually not news. I have always wanted to be a writer. I think being a writer was my very first ambition, and it's really not stopped being an ambition even while I was distracted by music and all the subjects. But now I've come to the conclusion that I'd like to be a writer, and to start doing that, I need to make a commitment to it. So it's all very well just saying, I am a writer now, I'm going to take this seriously, I'm going to do it every day. I think what I actually need to do is to decide not to do some other things. Because when you commit to something, you're actually also committing to not do a lot of other things, and however good those things are, they just have to not be your priority if you're deciding to get something else done. Perhaps some of these other things which I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to do would be better or more helpful for other people, but not what I want to do the most. So here's a little list of the examples of the ideas I've had recently for what I could do. So I would like, in an ideal world, to write a few radio essays, such as you might hear on Radio 4, about how love and music interact. That was an idea I had actually when I woke up one morning. I think I've been dreaming about it, so I wrote it down straight away, like, I would like to do this, and by next Valentine's Day I'd like to have little, like maybe 3 thoughts for 20 minutes exploring the theme of love and music. And I still think that'd be a great idea, but if I am to finish my novel, which I started 2 years ago, I have to not do that this year. Another thing is campaigning or charity fundraising or a political campaigner and agitator. Maybe I'm not going to plan a really intricate trip to South Africa to return there and set up my own charity. Not a thing that I'm going to do in 2015. I'm not going to set up my own blog and have little different subjects and maybe edit it a lot and have regular updates. I'm also not going to be a vlogger. All those wonderful people in YouTube who inspire me a lot, I'm not going to join them. I might add an occasional video here and there, but that's not the same thing as making that a regular project and commitment to build up. I'm also not going to be a public speaker or a lecturer about study skills or ADHD or any of these things which I could raise awareness of or educate people with. Going to universities and giving little free talks isn't going to happen. And these are only the things which have occurred to me recently. I've also decided not to do the other opportunities that my friends have been doing, such as I'm not going to be in a fabulous grad scheme job where, 2 years of being introduced into a company and trained and getting a really good salary, and it could have been me. I could be on a grad scheme right now, and soon I won't be able to apply to one. So I've decided that's not something that I'm going to be doing. And I was going to do a master's in the School of Oriental and African Studies in London. I wanted to become a researcher with joining in the community so that you really learn just through observing yourself. There are lots of things I want to research and write up, and I'm not a PhD student, and I'm not even an amateur researcher. I'm not a violinist or a pianist, which I have been all my life, nearly, and I've spent years and years practicing them. Over the last couple of years I haven't played very much, So although I can say that I do enjoy playing and making music occasionally, I can officially say that I'm not pursuing that as a project at all. And another old hobby which I love and still want to do, but which I'm also not making a priority this year, is being an artist, as in painting and drawing and or crafts like knitting or sewing or cross stitch. I used to do quite a lot. All of those things I hope I'll slot in occasionally for fun, but I'm officially releasing myself from any obligation to make that into a project. It can be just for me, but it's not the thing which I'm working on. So finally, I'm going to wrap this video up with a summary of what I actually do want to do in 2015. So, as I say, I want to be a writer and finish at least the first draft of my novel. Also, do some short stories and get them shared and read on the internet somewhere so that I can finally show people what I'm doing. I'm also a tutor, and that's how I want to earn my money, by teaching from private pupils who come along for a bit of music theory and everything, but mainly about that wisdom that I picked up over the years of exams and school that I could perhaps pass on to someone else to make their school experience and exam experience a lot easier, less stressful, and more successful. What I'm calling it is a learning mentor. And as part of that, I'd like to do some mind maps. If you don't know what mind maps are, that's what I hope to show you. I'll probably just do demonstrations and time-lapse photos and just illustrate my thoughts on YouTube with mind maps. And as a final dream, by the end of this year, I want to go travelling. Sod it, you know. There's so much out there to see. I'm going there. As you can see, there's basically an infinite number of things which I'm choosing not to do. And I think that's kind of important. That's why I'm making this, to acknowledge that I am closing a lot of doors. And anyone who's making something is making a sacrifice of all the other things they could be using their time to do. And it's not that I regret that, it's just that it is hard, and it's been delaying me over the last few months while I've been trying to decide what to do or when to do them and which order and how I could do all of them or most of them and fit them in. But if I did that, then I would be just spreading myself too thin, and I probably would achieve most of them, but the cost of my own mental health would be quite a lot, and I've tried that before, and it's not worth it. I want to be happy and relaxed most of the time, so hopes and dreams are all around us all the time, and I have new ideas for new dreams every day, which I like to collect and hoard and keep safe so that one day I might actually do it. But this is me letting them go. At least for this year, I'm letting them go, and by deciding that, I hope my life will be a lot simpler and that I might actually get somewhere with the dreams that I'm making a priority. So my final thing, what I am doing is I'm a writer, a tutor, and a mind mapper. Thanks for listening to my first ever attempt at something to put up on YouTube. I hope to see you back here, and don't forget to be awesome.